Since the outbreak of the war in Ukraine, only the Battle of Red Army City convinced Western media wholeheartedly. The Daily Telegraph wrote, "Capture Pokrov's Red Army City. It is Russia's new innovation in the military field. The era of frontal tank assaults is a thing of the past. The Russian army adopted a clever combat demilitarization tactic. Instead of easily spotted, noisy mechanized columns, small infantry assault teams have become the main force in attacks. They cleverly took advantage of the weather conditions, thick fog, to infiltrate the defense line, rendered the highly touted reconnaissance drone swarm completely useless." The report quoted British military analysts as saying, "The Russian military is adopting an entirely new fortress city assault tactic, found a fatal weakness in the enemy's defense system. In fact, from the very moment the Battle of the Red Army City began, the tactics employed by the Russian army involve using assault teams to split and encircle the enemy. Russian assault troops take advantage of Red Army City, carry out rapid cross-cutting in the vertical shafts and underground tunnels of the coal mine. Firing from behind the Ukrainian military has caused panic within the Ukrainian forces. Moreover, the Russian military commando units also made use of urban buildings and captured Ukrainian military bunkers to divide and cut off the connections between Ukrainian military units. Finally, a strange phenomenon occurred. The Russian military has fully taken control of the northern part of Krasnograd. However, there are still several dozen of something within the urban area of Krasnograd. Even the remaining Ukrainian military units with dozens or even hundreds of personnel each. These trapped remaining Ukrainian soldiers know that ... They can no longer break out through ground routes. They came up with a tunnel escape plan for retreat. On December 8th, Russian media reported that some remaining Ukrainian armed forces were besieged after the Red Army City was taken over by the Russian army, had tried to escape through engineering pipes and municipal pipeline network. However, when a large number of Ukrainian soldiers crawled into the sewers of the Red Army City, an attempt to retreat through the municipal pipeline network was discovered by Russian forces and was subjected to a water attack by Russian forces flooding. A sudden influx of a large amount of sewage in the confined space made it impossible for them to escape. In the end, they all suffocated and died in the sewage. Russian media reporters claim that the Ukrainian army is still unwilling to surrender voluntarily even when in a desperate situation. The impact of the propaganda stigmatizing Russian troops as killing and mistreating prisoners. There are now thousands of Ukrainian troops trapped in the city center of Dmitrov. If they are taking chances, want to use the underground tunnels of the Dmitrov coal mine to retreat, there is no chance of retreat and no access to supplies. The Russian military has the capability to bury them directly underground.